Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cartoon Boom. This is a show where we wake with the Saturday morning sun, popped on the floor with a big bowl of sugary cereal, and watch our favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm obviously from Brooklyn. My name's Chris.
And this morning, we watched Rayman, the animated series.
Okay, real quick. Before anything happens, before we make our regrets, possibly ruin any career that we might have. Thanks, Max Nystrom, for submitting this.
Thank you, or curse you, Max Nystrom, for submitting this.
And now, let's continue with ruining possibly our own podcast, our lives, with the amount of things we have to say.
Yeah. So the show, Rayman, the animated series, aired from 1999 to 2000, based on the video game series Rayman by Ubisoft, with original characters by Michael Ansel. I guess that's the original creator of the Rayman idea as he was working for Ubisoft.
Okay.
This series was developed by Jonathan Greenberg and written by Jonathan Greenberg and Michelle Jabliner Weiss. I don't know. It's probably a French name that I just am pronouncing poorly. Produced by Ubisoft, ran for one season, 4 episodes, so not even a whole season. Like, it got cut off. This is one of the first times we run into a situation like this where it passed the pilot stage somehow, but then got cut off before they could even finish a 5th episode that they were working on.
Yeah.
Apparently, at least 13, but up to 26 episodes were planned, and they just had to cut it off after 4 because they were like, nope, we can't in good conscience continue this.
Yeah. Do you think the people making it realized what they were doing to the world? Or do you think it was like the production studio or like the network, I guess, saw what they had agreed to and it was airing and they were like, oh, dear God, no. And then they put the kibosh on it.
Whoever the guy is that passes pilots, I guess the master pilot passer, I'm sure that's his official title. He was probably on vacation.
Master pilot, yeah.
Master pilot. He was on vacation that week and he left it up to his intern. This is what we got from that. So once he came back, he immediately had to cut this one off because, wow. Yeah. This series was only broadcast in France, Germany, and the Netherlands, but was released on VHS in North America, and additionally on DVD in France prior to the TV airing. So we never saw this on TV here, only on weird VHS tapes.
Yeah, if it had aired on American television, I think it would have destroyed any semblance of like, I don't know. Like parents would have started throwing their televisions out. Like even the children watching it might have started throwing the televisions out and been like, let's go outside forever.
I'm just not seeing where the entertainment in this is. I think there was one joke that was passable in this entire series, and it was in the second episode we watched, and I'll talk about it when we get there, but everything else was just like, it wasn't even like, I mean, the humor, like, it was, like, it's hard for me to even describe because it wasn't there. It was kind of like they were trying to make jokes and they were trying to do slapstick comedy, but since it was like CG, it was like really slow paced slapstick comedy, and it wasn't hitting like on any level.
No, not at all. Oh man. Yeah, this was we watched 3 episodes only. These episodes were about 12 minutes long.
12 minutes. Yep.
And I didn't sit all the way through the credits, so let's shave off about, a minute or so there. This was the longest 33 minutes of my entire life.
I had to take breaks in between 12-minute episodes.
You were so smart.
If that tells you anything. I had to have intermissions because I couldn't handle these back to back. But before I started it, I saw that like the whole collection was 44 minutes. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just watch the whole series, all 4 of them. And after 3, I was like, oh, how did I watch this many? Why did I do this to myself?
If you haven't noticed, folks, we got stuff to say about this one. We got things to say.
Let me get through with all the stuff. So for a short synopsis, the evil circus owner Rigatoni has enslaved Rayman and his friends, forcing them to work in his traveling circus. Rayman decides they must break free. They soon escape from the villainous circus, only to be chased by Inspector Grubb, who is intent on capturing the fugitives. Will Rayman and his friends ever find freedom?
Oh, God. I mean, kind of accurate. They just gave away the whole entire first episode. Now you don't have to watch the first episode now because they just explained the entire first episode plot.
Well, you shouldn't watch any of them to be honest.
Yeah, but like even if you were morbidly curious, that first episode, done. Don't have to do it. You're ready for episodes 2 through 4.
Who were some of the actors who played in this show? I mean, there's some obvious ones that you hear right away.
Well, Rayman himself was voiced by Billy West, that you would recognize from Futurama, Disenchantment. He was Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy. He was in Space Jam and has done a couple different Looney Tunes shows. And he was in this and basically as Fry, but with the worst Brooklyn accent I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't know what happened.
It was like, yeah, if Fry was from Boston, this is what would happen.
I don't know what happened there because it was not good. Oh, man. Cookie, which I think was supposed to be a kangaroo, but I'm not really sure.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Cookie was voiced by Carlos Alazraqui, basically known for 2 big roles. In the live-action world of things, known for playing Deputy Garcia from Reno 911, and in animation, though he's been in a ton of things, big breakout role in animation was the voice of Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life. Yay.
Yes.
The voices of Lac-Mac and Inspector Grubb. Okay, Lac-Mac, some sort of demon bunny? I don't know what that was. A blue demon bunny is what I'm going to call it.
He's like the result if Henry Hank McCoy of the X-Men had been turned into Beast, but also had his mind shattered, this is what he would have become.
His mind shattered. But also, like, he turned into Beast, but Beast happened to be very bunny-like instead of either ape or cat-like. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And also never ate protein in his entire life. And I don't know what anyone else in this show, I have no idea what kind of animal thing they're based on, but whatever. So Lac-Mac and Inspector Grubb, voiced by Danny Mann. He does things. And then finally, Bettina, voiced by 3 people, because I don't know what happened here. This character's only in 4 episodes and somehow was still voiced by 3 separate people. I don't know how that happens. Like, did they do the voice and they're like, no, no more, I'm out. And then they had to hire someone else. And then that person also was like, no more, I'm out. And then they hired another person. I have no idea. But Carolyn Lawrence, who's very well known for being the voice of Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. Lacey Chabert, who was the voice of Eliza Thornberry from Wild Thornberrys. She's Zatanna from Young Justice. She's been in tons of stuff. She was Gretchen from the movie Mean Girls that some people might remember her from. And then finally, Kath Soucie, who has been in tons of stuff. Toxic Crusaders, Real Ghostbusters, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Tiny Toon Adventures, Rugrats, Sonic the Hedgehog, tons more. So like all 3 of them, very well-known voice actresses, very good, did not want to stay in this role, apparently.
Yeah, they saw the writing on the walls of what was going to happen, and they just had to get out.
They were out.
They knew. They felt it.
Yeah.
Oh. So for a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of Rayman cereal, following the success of Rayman 2, The Great Escape, this was meant to be a series of 26 episodes with a projected release during fall of 2000, but only 4 were completed when it was canceled mid-series, leaving a 5th episode near to completion. That's not even mid-series. That's like barely the start of your series.
That's just getting the toe in the water, and they're like, no, water's too cold. No,
gross.
We're not diving into this pool. We're done.
Yeah. And so this will tell you probably a part of what the problem was. But Rayman and Captain Razorbeard are the only characters from the games to appear. And Captain Razorbeard was the final boss, or like the big boss of Rayman 2, The Great Escape, the one that this was like the successor of. And yet in this show, he was pushed to like the minion of some made up like Italian monster mobster circus owner. It's like it made no sense.
Yeah.
None of this makes any sense.
That guy was just kind of a throwaway character in one episode. But he was the big bad in the video game? What?
Yes, he was the big boss guy and I think he was an admiral in that game, like Admiral Razorbeard, and so they demoted him to captain and then demoted him to minion in this actual series. It's ridiculous.
Oh boy.
So I'm telling you, like from the start, you can already tell this is not going to go well.
Yeah, they doomed themselves. Well, we're probably going to get into some more complainy-wainy content here in just a minute, but something we can't complain about is all the support we get over at Patreon. By supporting us on Patreon, you become part of the Nerd Sloth Treehouse, which opens up lots more content and opportunities, including bonus episodes of Cartoon Boom Monthly at the Twig level membership, where we review cartoon pilots that never took off, which should have included this show. In contrast to this show, some of them are real gems, like the episode for April, which was AJ's Infinite Summer, which had us laughing pretty much nonstop. We loved the heck out of that one and had a great time recording that episode. So, if you're looking for more content while wanting to support the things that we do, you can start now by heading over to patreon.com/nerdsloth.
So let's go ahead and jump into the episodes we watched for today's show. The very first one being Lac-Mac Napping, Season 1, Episode 1.
I don't want to do it.
Season 1, Episode 1. And I already told you what happened. Like they're in a traveling circus, but they're like slaves of this traveling circus. And I say that I don't use that term loosely because Bettina like literally seems like a human girl who is just trapped in this circus with all of these other like creatures, and they're forced to perform for Rigatoni, who is the Italian mobster purple dude who I was talking about earlier, and they have to perform well to get fed. So yes, they are enslaved to this circus owner, and it is weird. And his right-hand man is Admiral Razorbeard, or Captain Razorbeard, I guess, in this, or just Razorbeard. I don't know what they call him in this version.
Razorbeard.
Yeah, but he is given like no power over anyone. He's just sent out to keep the performers in line.
And here's the weird part of this. Let me just, I'm going to use timing to really paint the picture here. This entire episode is about 12 minutes long. You had like a 30-something second intro. You've got like a minute something in credits at the end. So let's round down to about 10 and a half minutes, really. Rayman doesn't show up until 4 minutes and 50 seconds in. So, like, dude is barely in this episode, and he's the main character. He's the whole reason people would even check this thing out in the first place. And the first episode, he's only in like half of it. He doesn't even show up for the first half. What are they doing?
Well, they have to introduce you to all the fun new characters they made up, like Human, Bettina, Flips, the little fairy with the witch hat, and then Lac-Mac, the blue bunny thing.
The blue bunny from hell is who juggles. That's his shtick, is he can juggle and he's stupid.
And he's super strong.
Yeah, but we don't learn that till later.
Yeah, and then you've also got Cookie, the kangaroo dude, I guess, who doesn't show up in the act. It's just like he's just there, caged up.
He's only there and complains a lot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cookie is a hypochondriac. That's his trait. That's his character trait.
He's everyone's mom. He's just there to complain. But Rayman, once he finally does show up, because it really is just minutes of Rigatoni yelling about how no one's going to get to eat if they don't do their acts, and then seeing the acts like at the circus where everybody looks like some sort of anteater thing. Like everyone else in this world, aside from the people we follow, are weird anteater looking people. I don't know what's up with that. But they do their little performance, which takes like a minute. That's it. Like, I don't know who paid money for a circus ticket to see 1 minute of a show and then leave. Whatever. they do their thing, and then it's like, 5 minutes later into the episode, it's Rayman, who is also a slave at the circus, I guess, and Razorbeard's like, do this trick, and he's just like, nah, I don't feel like it. Oh yeah. And then every once in a while, just on one occasional word, then I'll throw in my Brooklyn accent. Like,
yeah, I didn't even know he had that accent until it got to the point where Lac-Mac was bending that bar for Cookie to show him like, oh, I can make a little dog out of it. And he hands it to Rayman, and Rayman's like, this ba. I didn't know he had an accent at first. I thought he was just talking about a ba. And I was like, what is he? Is this a sheep? I wasn't sure what he was actually saying at first until it carried on a little bit further in the episode. I was like, oh, he's putting on an accent, but only sometimes.
Yeah, the accent only shows up like every couple sentences. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
And when he does do it, it is so overdone, and it sucks. It sucks.
It sounds very, very unnatural. I'm a big Billy West fan. Most of the roles he nails. It's great. I love his voice, but this just was not. I don't know what kind of voice direction he got, but it wasn't right.
No, and that's what I think it was too. Is like when you can look at an actor, a voice actor, or anyone that does that kind of thing, and all of their other work is completely solid. And then you see one where it's just like, oh my God, this is bad. What happened? Like, it had to have been the voice director just like, I don't like the way you're doing this accent. Like, what if he was like actually nailing the accent and they're like, no. I don't like how it sounds on these words. Only use it when he uses R, but only R at the end of a sentence. So every once in a while you hear it and sometimes you don't.
He's like, but like Rayman's from like space or something. So what if it's like Space Brooklyn and it doesn't sound like our Brooklyn? Only every once in a while it does.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I guess I'll go with that.
I think Rayman's even supposed to be from France, but France
I think you're right.
It's not cool enough. So we got to make it Brooklyn for the Americans.
I gotta wonder what his original voice actor, the actual one from France and wherever else it was released sounded like, because it wasn't made for American voices. Right. So I wonder what he is basing this off of. If it was just like, my first thought would not be to make Rayman from Boston or Brooklyn. It would just be like, oh, he's just a wacky character. I would think more like Sonic, as opposed to, who doesn't have like a hard accent of any sort.
Right.
But no, that's not the direction they went.
Yeah. Mistakes were made. A lot of mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
And so the basis of this episode is they are trying to escape this circus, and they do in like a 5-minute period, because all they had to do was like, they found out that Lac-Mac was really strong. Lac-Mac strong? And then they have him bend all the bars of the cages, of course, and they get out, and that's it.
They just kind of leave.
They run.
My favorite scene, though, is like towards the end, where they come upon a guy with a car that doesn't work. And he's like, this piece of junk, I might as well get rid of it. And Rayman's like, my friend can fix cars. What if we fix it?
No. He said, my friend can fix cars. My friend fixes cars.
He's like, hey, my best buddy over here fixes cars. Can we can we have a crack at it and then have it? And then he's just like, sure. And then it fades to black and then like reopens with them in the car. And then they're like, we fixed it. All right, bye. And then they drive off.
Yeah. Because he just like, I've been trying to fix this car for 10 years. And Cookie fixes it immediately, and they drive up in the car, and everybody's happy. And that's the end of that.
But the way you described it, though, you made it sound funny. But the way it played out wasn't funny. Like, you describing this episode was funnier than seeing the gag in the episode.
It's because it's so dragged out. Not in like an intentionally funny way, not where it's like, oh, the delay makes it funny. The delay makes it way boring. Like any joke that could have been in there is just completely negated because it's just a long, drawn out scene with nothing happening and this very general idea of them fixing a car to get out of there. Like if all these things were pushed together quickly, like it could have been fun, but it just wasn't.
Yeah. Ugh.
And so, yeah, also Rigatoni in that period calls the local detective Grubb and puts him on the case because I guess Rigatoni has pull because he's like a circus mob boss.
Mob boss turned circus man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. He's a ringmaster mob boss dude, but he has pull in the city, and so he gets the detective Grubb on the case. So that's really who they're running from the majority of the time that we see is this detective Grubb. But they also happen to move into his attic, it seems like. So they all live up there while Detective Grubb is just like downstairs unaware and still searching for them.
Yeah, they live in this guy's house. That's the dumbest thing. That's like, oh man, I'm did tax evasion. I'm running from the law. I'm going to move in above the police department. That's the safest place I can be.
Yeah, I'm going to live in the IRS's basement.
Yeah, that'll sure throw a fast one on them.
They'll never find me here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Man. So the second episode we watched for today's show is High Anxiety, Season 1, Episode 3. This was a Patreon pick by Semantic, so thank you.
Yeah, and this is what the name of the episode is what I got watching this episode.
Okay, this episode, like I said earlier, Cookie is a hypochondriac, and which means he's just overly concerned about his health and assumes everything is like the worst possible thing that could be happening to him. And so he has a headache, and he essentially makes it come off like he's dying, or he thinks he's dying. And so everybody's giving him a hard time and just telling him, dude, just go to the doctor if you're sick. Come on. And so they take him to the doctor. And here's where the one funny joke in this came in that I appreciated. And that's when he was doing the vision test. And the letters he reads off are GURAQTINVU. And the doctor's response to that was, I don't blame you. I am pretty good looking. And just putting all those letters together, I thought that was a fun one, but that's literally the only time I even like remotely chuckled. I don't even know if I chuckled out loud. I was just I smiled internally, and that was about as good as it got.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where like your mind's eye had a little grin,
Yeah.
but your face didn't move whatsoever.
Still deadpan. Yeah.
Still dead on the outside, but something on the inside stirred for just a moment.
Just a tiny spark, but not enough to light a flame. Just okay.
Just enough to be noticed. So. Bettina makes a joke about him having a brain tumor again. I don't know what that was about. That was weird.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Love jokes about cancer. So cool. Thanks, Rayman.
Anybody who's had brain injuries like both of us have in different ways. That's great.
That was great. So happy about that. So yeah, he's at the doctor. They do all these silly tests, and then the doctor is just like, hey, there is a problem. You're nuts. And then has him committed. And so we can make fun of people with mental illnesses now instead of people with cancer. So
yeah.
God, this show, man.
They just drop him through a hole in the floor, and he's in one of those like mental asylums, literally putting together or doing like crosswords or something, or putting together puzzles with his roommate who's an elderly woman.
Yeah. What was an interesting way for them to develop the episode, though, finally, because like there's not much left of the episode once this reveal happens, is that
you're right.
Inspector Grubb shows up because he, being the guy that's trying to track them down and catch them, his mom ends up being Cookie's roommate there. So he comes to visit his mom, and Cookie's trying to like hide his appearance. And there's a really long back and forth of Cookie and Grubb doing the whole, you look awful familiar kind of thing, while Cookie's just like, no, my name's Carl. Remember Carl?
Yeah.
Lots of that kind of real predictable thing. Like, you've seen it before. You get it. You know how it plays out. By the end, he figures it out.
And on the other side of that, though, like in addition to this happening, Lac-Mac is going around trying to find Cookie. And he asks, in the way Lac-Mac does, he asks this one dude like in a straitjacket, because he goes into his cell, ask him if he knows where Cookie is or something, and the guy thinks he's asking for a cookie, so he's like, oh, if you let me out of this straitjacket, I'll find you a cookie, or I'll get you a cookie. And he's like,
he doesn't just say that, he whispers it like a creepy, like you need an adult in the room situation kind of guy. Oh, just come over here, I'll get you a cookie.
Come, untie me, I'll get you a cookie. he unties him, and that just, the dude runs free because obviously he was constricted in that straitjacket for a reason. But simultaneously, he looks like Detective Grubb, I guess because all these Grubb dudes look similar. And so the people working, the guards or whatever working for this hospital, they think they think Detective Grubb is the escaped inmate Harold, I think his name was.
Harold.
And so they grab him and start taking him to Harold's cell. And he's like, what? I'm not, my name is Detective Grubb and I work for whatever. And he's like, yeah, sure you do.
Yeah, and I'm a fireman, I think.
Yeah.
Is what he says.
Right.
Okay. So that's that episode.
That pretty much is like what they're, I'm trying to think. They just are like, they get Cookie out of there and they're just like, hope you learned your lesson, Cookie. And he's like, all this running is hard on my knees. My back is killing me.
I
don't know.
Cookie.
Yeah. I wish we could make this more fun than it is, but I think honestly we are. Like, you watch these episodes, you will appreciate what we're giving you here.
I've got this new, it's not a Fitbit. It's a different brand. But I can measure my stress levels, which is great. So as we talk about this, I'm going to measure my stress levels every once in a while, and I'm going to give you all updates. So I'm starting it right now. It takes a few seconds to do it. So we'll start talking about episode 3, and then once it generates the number, I'll let you know. I'll check in again after a little while too and see where it's gotten.
Arguably or inarguably, this is going to be the worst episode. This one was Big Date, season 1, episode 4, the final episode that actually came out. Also a Patreon pick by Epic Otter. So thank you, Epic. This is pretty much what it sounds like. We get to see the whole crew, the fugitives living above Detective Grubb's house. Like, they live in his attic. It's obvious. And so they're like, because they're looking outside the window, like, hey, I need to go get something. Cookie needs to go get something. So they look out the window to see if Grubb's car is there, but it isn't. But they're like, well, but what if he's hiding? What if he's, trying to trick us? So they start, I think Lac-Mac is looking through the floorboard. And so they get the idea they drill a hole, set up a little telescope down there. I guess a reverse telescope because it's looking downward. Maybe it's still a telescope. I don't know.
Periscope? Or do periscopes only go up?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if a periscope, I don't know. But you get so it's an upside down periscope, maybe just a periscope. And so they look down into the actual ground floor of this place he lives, and he comes home, but he has flowers with him. And they're like, oh, somebody's got a date. So they decide to try to, at first they're just like, well, let's see this through, because if he has a date, then that will distract him from finding us, and that's what we want. So let's witness this whole thing. And they do. So this episode is literally about Detective Grubb on his date and how he's messing it up. But then Rayman decides, you know what? We're going to help him out on this date, because if he has a date, then it distracts him from trying to find us. If his date's successful. And that's it.
And then a lot of that culminates with breaking into his house when they're already living in his attic. And I'm like, oh my God, you idiots. But I mean, whatever, cartoon antics. So that part's forgivable. I got to tell you guys, this cartoon has stressed me so out that I've tried 3 times and it can't read the number. It just can't. It's going off the charts. Oh my God. I'm so stressed. Yeah. So like one thing that's, I guess, I don't know. It's not even funny. I wanted to say it was funny, but I guess it's not. But it's like, Grubb's date comes over and he's just constantly injuring this woman. I mean, just battering her with everything, but by accident. But he really is. He even breaks her nose. Good Lord.
Right. He breaks her nose job with like a ricocheting bottle cap.
Yeah.
And he burns her mouth with some like burnt food. So, and then he like drops food all over her.
Hits her in the eye with an umbrella.
That's true. And then he drops like everything in his closet falls on her. So she sticks it through. But then we find out in a little bit that the reason she's there in the first place was to get out of a ticket. She was going 65 in a 35 zone and he pulled her over. But I guess like she wooed him by agreeing to go on a date with him instead of like her getting a ticket.
Do you think she wooed him, or do you think he was like, I'll let you off if? It could be either.
I don't know. I guess it could have gone either way, honestly.
Yeah.
But she used her feminine wiles one way or another to trick him into not giving her a ticket. Because she obviously didn't want to be there at first, but she started to be charmed by him once the whole crew, Rayman and his friends, like started helping out, which was basically just by like they set up the flower arrangement in a vase in the middle of the table, and she was impressed by that. Then they cooked this meal of like pancakes and upside down cake and some other stuff, and she's impressed by that.
She started to become endeared to him once the lies began. Once he was no longer himself because everyone else was chipping in to do stuff for him. Then she was just like, oh, okay. Yeah.
And then he screws this up because like he's got the tablecloth in his shirt, like tucked in like a bib, and then gets up to get her a soda. And everybody, like Raymond's like, no, don't get up. And he gets up and like pulls the whole tablecloth out with him, which dumps all the food on her. And that's when she decides to leave. And so, as far as he knows, it's over, like it's done with. Then like Rayman and friends get together and set up a singing telegram for her and basically delivering flowers and offering to take her to the movies. So they are so desperate to distract this detective that they're like, we're going to go out of our way to woo this woman so he will be distracted enough. Okay, here's what doesn't make sense is they had to have left the house to set up this telegram, this singing telegram, but the reason they're trying to get her to distract him is so they can leave the house. But it's like they already have the freedom to do so because they're doing so to make this happen. But just the logic of this doesn't make any sense.
Right, and then they're like basically catfishing this woman for the sake of grub. What is this show? What is this? Nothing makes sense. Everything sucks.
Who wrote this? So the episode ends literally like there's no punchline. It just ends with after the singing telegram asking her to go to the movies. She calls Grub and agrees to go to the movies, or is like, thank you for the flowers. Like, do you want to go to the movies tomorrow? Or let's go to the movies tomorrow. And he's like, oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, we'll go to the movies tomorrow. And that's it. Like, there's no joke. That's just
credits.
Credits.
Forever.
I would have accepted even like a laugh track at that point, but there was nothing.
Oh man, that's low when you go to that point.
I know.
If there was laugh tracks inserted through all the episodes, would that have improved anything?
Here, I think what would have been great is if they inserted laugh tracks in completely irrelevant moments. That would have made me laugh because of how random they were, and that would have endeared me to the show more than it has.
There we go. I like that idea. Okay.
Oh, boy. Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we send our inner kids to Rigatoni's traveling circus to help Rayman and friends escape so we can help them get back to Boston, I guess? Then see what they thought of the show, Rayman, the animated series.
This cartoon makes me sad. For video games, for cartoons, for myself. Are all Rayman games like this? I'd rather eat a cactus sideways than ever see this again.
I've never personally played a Rayman game, but from what I hear, this show feels as disrespectful to the source material as a Street Fighter movie was. So, for Rayman fans, the day this terrible series graced their TV sets was the most important day of their lives. But for bad 90s CG, it was Tuesday.
Oh, well done. Well done.
I was like, I don't know anything about Rayman, but I do know about Street Fighter, so
yeah. Very good.
Had to throw that quote in there.
Well done. I appreciated that very much. So what did you like about this show? What were some things you liked?
This is a little bit of a stretch, maybe a lot bit of a stretch, but I think the general plot idea was an interesting one. Like enslaved circus performers escaping captivity, and at least the first season being about avoiding recapture. Like conceptually, could have been interesting. So they could have really done something with this premise, but they really fumbled it in multiple ways. And that is the most positive thing I can say about it is the idea was there, but the execution, not so much.
Oh, I got nothing. I really have nothing. I mean, yeah. I could say congrats on getting it greenlit. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how, but you did. And not a lot of people do.
But also, congrats on getting your series canceled 4 episodes in. That's so rare. I don't remember that happening much within all the episodes or all the shows we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
It's either cut off in the pilot or after the first season, but first 4 episodes, yeah, that's an achievement.
Well, let's get into the meat. What did you dislike about the show?
So, trying to tie this to the Rayman series without paying any respect to the actual Rayman series, that is a huge, huge fumble. Because, first of all, why create all these new characters when at this point, 2 very successful Rayman games had already come out with pre-existing characters? So, Admiral Razorbeard, big boss of Rayman 2, like I was talking about, became just a demoted henchman for no real reason. It feels like the people who made the show had not played the games or anything. They just grabbed some random characters from it. Like, all right, we got to get Rayman. What about this pirate guy? He looks like a henchman. Let's get him. Let's throw him in. And knew nothing about like what he actually did or was, because why else would they put him in that like demeaning position after being the boss of the previous game? That makes no sense to me. And also, I'm not normally, I am normally a big fan of Billy West's performances, obviously. So the direction of that voice direction makes 0 sense. Like, hey, Billy, I want you to make Rayman sound like he's got attitude like Sonic, but is also from Boston. And I can't stress this enough, only sometimes. I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
and that part was just so distracting to me. For some reason, like every time I tried to get invested into the actual story or, lack thereof, he'd mention a ba or a ka and I'd get pulled right back out of it. Like it's so distracting because of how irregular it is that it just, it hurts. Like it hurt my ears. I don't know if it was even the inconsistency of the accent or that I just don't picture Rayman having that kind of voice. Like, imagine Sonic being from Boston, like, that Dr. Eggman was wicked hard, Tails. Let's go pick up some beers from the Packy.
I love Brooklyn Sonic, and I need more of it. This is something I will campaign for until the end of my days. Brooklyn, The Adventures of Sonic in Brooklyn. I would love to see that. Oh, boy.
It was just gross, dude. And also the animation it just looked bad. Obviously.
The animation was very early VeggieTales-esque. Like, even if the only thing they achieved was sometimes the edges were smooth, but
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, but it was pretty bad. It was like, I don't know, reboot without the checkerboard and chrome.
Did you notice the flowers that got delivered were like, it looked like the PS2 or PS1 graphics. Like it was so zoomed in and pixelated that it didn't fit the scene at all.
There was a few times stuff like that happened. Like, there's one part in the first episode in the circus where they would zoom in and you would have animated people there, but on zoom outs, it would be a static image of people, and it was kind of like that too. It reminded me of playing things like like WCW NWO Revenge, and you've got like that static crowd, like that flat panel of crowd that goes around the side of the ring.
Oh yeah. It
reminded me of that. Like it was just so outside of what everything else looked like, and just really, really, I don't know, pixelated, just did not look good, didn't match. Like a huge afterthought, for the background.
Yeah.
So
gross.
It was pretty rough.
What were some of the other things you didn't like?
I think my main gripe is none of the characters are likable. I don't think in any sense, especially Rayman. Rayman was obnoxious, and it's not just because of the voice and the accent and stuff, but he's just this know-it-all that you just don't like for any real reason. Because I think about this in your first interaction with him, which is late into that first episode, you don't have a reason to not like Razorbeard yet, other than, Razorbeard works for the main bad guy, but Razorbeard has not done anything really yet to establish himself as being really bad. Rayman's just this lazy, whiny, just obnoxious little man that's missing lots of appendages between his torso and extremities, which is very concerning for how he would ever eat food with no neck to connect it to his stomach. I don't understand that part. But yeah, he had annoyed me. Everything he said was annoying. And then none of the other characters really saved it, because on top of that, you get Cookie, who is also annoying, if not worse. Bettina, doesn't make any sense to me. And like this one human in a world of, I don't know what most of them are. You've got, was it Flips, who doesn't even talk, just squeaks. And everything's terrible and I hate it. And I don't understand why anyone thought this would be okay. I don't get it, man. I am confounded as heck with this.
Yeah, this feels like it should have been a failed pilot, but it somehow made it 4 episodes in before people realized, oh, wait, we should have stopped this before it got started.
Jeez.
So overall, what would you give this?
I mean, it's awful. It's rare that I can hop in and just say something is trash, but it happens and we're living in it. Like even just a 12-minute episode, just one, is so hard to sit through. And like, not only did it never make me want to see this again, but never having played a Rayman game, but never having been opposed to the idea. I've always been open to play one. I just never have. Like, this made me so apprehensive to even touch a Rayman game because it was that unlikable. Because I'm like, if there's any similarity at all, I would be like, no, sir. No, sir, I don't like it. I don't want to do that. So I gave this Rayman show 0 bowls of "that's a horrible accent and you should know better" cereal out of 5.
Wow. It's been a while. Since you've done a 0 at something.
True.
So this is one of those shows containing multiple elements that had great potential, but all of that potential, from the solid source material to the intriguing plot, was completely mishandled at every turn. So overall, I'd give Rayman the Animated Series 1 big bowl of Captain Razor Crunch cereal out of 5, and I'm thankful this series was cut off when it was, so the whole video game franchise didn't get buried along with it.
I was thinking, like, if it was 4 episodes, that means it probably only lasted 1 month. 1 month of screen time. That's funny. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. I can't even see kids being entertained by this.
I honestly can't either.
There's nothing there.
No. Like, I want to say this. Anyone is listening to this one and you are new here, first of all, welcome. Second of all, sorry that this is your first episode. Third, we are usually, I think, pretty good at trying to separate ourselves from the age range that this was created for, because there has been plenty of shows that we've been like, you know what, it's not for me. However, this was good about it, and this was good about it, and like a kid this age would love this part of it and stuff. But this one, I'm like, man, the only age group I could see that would really like this is, like, I mean, the youngest of the age groups that doesn't know things yet. Like, I'm talking, like, you know, preschool and younger kind of age. Like, you know, the ones that are just happy to see things moving around on a screen. But other than that, no. Like, if you're a fan of Rayman at all, you would hate this.
I have to believe that. Yeah, I would think you would be insulted by the way they treated your favorite character, potentially, and especially the franchise that they really took nothing from. Like, the only thing Rayman about this is Rayman, and even he doesn't seem like the character that is in the games.
Right.
I guess only in the sense that he's kind of like a cynical, like, jokey character, but like, I've seen him talk in the third Rayman because I was curious to see if he actually had a Boston, Brooklyn accent, and he doesn't, and it makes much more sense seeing him talk in the third game than it does here. So I stick to the games. Don't watch this show. If you're morbidly curious, it's on YouTube, but I'm not going to recommend it, and I did warn you.
Yeah, you've been warned. Please heed the warnings.
Oh, man. So thank you, Max Nystrom, for suggesting this, if only to show us what never to watch again.
Yeah. And thank you to all the studios out there that have made much better quality content than this. If you've made anything, you've probably done better. So thank you.
And thank you also to whoever decided to cut this off after episode 4.
Yes.
Because you were right.
Whoever canceled this, thank you. You're doing the good work.
Well, listeners, it looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And next week, we'll be watching
Goof Troop, suggested via Facebook by Nicholas Moss.
Oh man, this is going to be such a relief in comparison. I am so excited for that now.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Goof Troop? Oh man, I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
I will. It's 1,000 times better than this. I can at least tell you that.
That's setting the bar pretty low. So yeah, I mean, we've got nowhere to go but up.
Right. There you go. Once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.